Hi student, I'm สิบแสงสุขผล The second video clip that I will see to you, and I will teach you about the mammalian heart and mammalian circulation. Do you know what is mammalian? Mammalian is a kind of animal that treats baby with milk. You know, mammalian have a mammary gland in the female that have developed for make a milk for baby, but male not developed. Okay, and after you know this mammalian heart, you are the mammalian too. You are human. Human is the mammalian. Look at the chart. You will see is the mammalian heart. A closer look. You look it closer. Okay. And number one, you will see aorta. Aorta is the big red artery that carry blood-rich oxygen or oxygen-rich blood to the body. Okay. And number two, pulmonary valves. Just look at it. Number two, yeah. Number two is pulmonary valve, or we say semilunar valves, type of semilunar valve, okay? And number three, left atrium. Yeah, left atrium. Left atrium, blood carry out about the oxygen poor blood from the upper from the head and arm. We call this blood vessel superior vena cava. Superior vena cava. And the lower blood vessels that send the oxygen poor blood to the right atrium. To the right atrium, we call inferior vena cava or posterior vena cava. Into the right atrium, the right atrium or number three. Can you see number three? Yeah, right atrium contract. The blood flow to the number 5. The part going to the number 5 by past the number 4. You know, number 4 we call tricuspid valve, but through the number 4 to number 5, all right ventricle. At the 5 number structure all right ventricle, there are supportive structure. And number 6, I think is not important, but you know, for the knowledge that's more than or increase. But I'm not interested now, okay? But go to the number 5, or right ventricle. And when the right ventricle contract, the blood go to the number 2. Go to the number 2, pass through the number 2, or pulmonary valve, or we call the semilunar valve. No, semilunar valve. And then, what is the type of the blood? This is the oxygen poor blood. Oxygen poor blood. Oxygen poor blood go to the number 11 structure. This is a blood vessel we call pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. Artery is not red all the time, maybe black blood, because artery is mean the vessel that carry out of blood from the heart, carry out or blood from the heart or blood leave from the heart by that vessels. We call that vessel is artery. But these vessels carry blood to the lung, so we call pulmonary artery. Number 11, we call pulmonary artery. Okay. Bring the oxygen poor blood to the lung and exchange the gas. You know what's gas? Exchange carbon dioxide gas and oxygen gas by secrete or diffuse carbon dioxide gas out and receive oxygen gas in. So blood change from the oxygen poor blood to the oxygen rich blood. You know, oxygen poor blood, low oxygen, but after exchange, oxygen is changed to be an oxygen rich blood, the red one, okay, the red blood, and other is changed to be the red blood or oxygen rich blood from the lung. The oxygen rich blood go to the heart again, with a pulmonary vein to the number 10 structure. Can you see the blood vessel that contact with a number 10 structure? Yeah, we call this structure pulmonary artery. And the oxygen rich blood go to the heart again because vein is the blood vessel that gives the blood return to the heart. Did you know from the last movie clip that I make, and I will tell you before this? Oxygen rich blood from the number 10 or left atrium. You know, number 10 is left atrium. When number 10 or left atrium is contract, the blood is passed through the number 9. You know, number 9. Number 9 is mitral valve or bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve. B-I-C-U-S-P-I-D valves. Okay? And then go to the number 7. If you observe, the number 7 is the thickest heart chamber. Thickest heart chamber. Because it must contract and send the oxygen rich blood to the body, you know. So number 7 is the left ventricle. When the number 7 or left ventricle contract, the blood is passed to the number 8. What is the number 8? Aortic valve. Aortic valve. And blood go to the number 1. What is the number 1? The big or the biggest artery that we call aorta, that bring or release the oxygen rich blood from the heart to the body. Okay, after you know about the membrane heart, a closer look, you can tell me about the next one. The next one is about the membrane cardiovascular system, that you must write the diagram for me after you know and you pass about this lesson. If we start with number 11, You know, number 11 is right atrium that receive or obtain the oxygen poor blood from number 9 and number 10. You know, number 9 is anterior or superior vena cava, and number 10 is posterior or inferior vena cava. This is oxygen poor blood. Oxygen poor blood. And when the right atrium contracts, the blood goes to the number 1. The number 1 past the structure that we call tricuspid valve to the number 1. And blood go to the number 2 past the pulmonary valve or semilunar valve to the number 2. Number 2 is the blood vessel that carry out of the oxygen poor blood to the lung. We call this vessel pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. And oxygen poor blood and change to the oxygen rich blood at the lung. Oxygen rich blood go to the heart again. You see these vessels. The vessels that have the oxygen rich blood to the heart again, we call pulmonary veins, because vein is the vessel that return the blood to the heart. We call vein. Okay? And pulmonary vein is returned to the heart at the number 4 structure. Number 4 structure we call the left atrium. And when the number 4 structure or left atrium contract, number 4 contract, the blood is passed to the number 5 with past the structure we call bicuspid valves or mitral valves. You must write to me. You must write to me because it's very important about the valves. Okay? Come back and study it again about the structure of the mammalian heart. Okay? You must point about the structure that's important because I want you to know and can tell me and can draw the diagram about the mammalian cardiovascular system. Okay. Next, are the left ventricle receive blood from the structure number 4 or left atrium? You observe the left ventricle. Left ventricle is the hardest chamber, or thickest chamber about the heart. And when the number 5 structure contract, if left ventricle contract, the blood is sent through the aortic valve, to the number 6 structure we call aorta. Aorta is a big red blood vessel, big red blood vessel or bigger red blood vessels. It's okay because it's transfer or is released blood to the part of the body, you know, to the parts of the body, to the head and arm, to the body and leg, and return back and exchange the oxygen to the cell. Cell give a carbon dioxide to the blood vessel. Blood, oxygen rich blood come from the oxygen poor blood and return to the number 9 and number 10 structure again. Number 9 is a superior vena cava or anterior vena cava, and the number 10 structure is a posterior vena cava or inferior vena cava. It's okay. And then come back to the right atrium again. This is a heart cycle, heart cycle. Or we call it the cardiovascular system. Okay, this is my description, my explanation about this lesson. I think you can get it and you can draw the diagram after you study. Okay, see you on the next movie clip. Goodbye.